Hello everyone, happy Sunday. This is going to be a short video on some examples that I added to our example course. And this is dealing with an actual lesson. So we talked on Friday about creating pages that kind of go through some simple lessons. So this was the example that we did. We talked about what is a mystery. And on this page, I started adding, some information, a video. There's a detective notebook that's linked in for the students to use, and a couple other things here for the students to use, as well as a video. I also included an example for you on how to actually set up a lesson. So we know that a lesson is not just a page, but there might be some videos, some pages, some discussions, because an online lesson can span several days. And I do know some of the district requirements that came out are saying 2 lessons a week for ELA. So your lesson for ELA might cover a couple days. So I included a lesson example down here for you. If you click on this arrow, it kind of expands the lesson out so you can see all the components that are in there. So notice that this lesson starts with a discussion post, and then there's a page with some information and a screencast, a media album, some more discussion post. This has them creating some definitions using a Google Doc that's embedded here for them, as well as, some a reading that they're going to do. And before they read the Peter Minuit biography, me looking ahead, I know that they're going to have trouble with a lot of the words and maybe some background to Peter Minuit. So I've included a page here that they are going to use before they get to the Peter Minuit biography. And then, of course, a video and some information about Peter Minuit. Now, this does not mean you have to have all of these components in a lesson. Obviously, we've talked before about if I'm on the primary side, I'm going to have far less materials and resources in Schoology for a lesson, whereas my 3, 4, and 5 teachers, possibly even second, might include some more things. But as the students go through this lesson, everything is in here for them, and they can just click the next button to go to the next resource and page or discussion that they'll be using for their online lesson. We are going to be covering this week, discussion posts, media albums, a lot more of the resources that you see here in depth. But if you're, planning out your lessons like this, there is a feature here that if I go to options and I do student completion, I know Jordan talked Friday about how you can pace the students. This is how you can pace the students. So if I plan my lesson out and I see that I have multiple things that the student has to do within the lesson, rather than them looking at this and just skipping down here to this discussion post. And I decided to do my formative assessment for this lesson as a discussion. After they complete this entire lesson, and this is a 2 to 3 day lesson, it is covering 2 standards. Notice that it says in this discussion board, please answer the 2 questions below in complete sentences. And then the students are going to actually type in their response down here, or they can record their response. If I want to make sure that my students are going through each component of the lesson before they just jump ahead, if I go to options, I can do the student completion. And if I click add requirements, it starts with my very first discussion. And so it says they have to do this, and I'm going to post what they have to do. Now, if it's a page, it's just going to say view the item. If it's something like a discussion or an assignment, it's going to say something like post a comment, reply, or complete. So here it says I might have them either just view the item, or I'm going to require that they post and reply. And I'm going to click this. So this is saying that they have to first start with the discussion, and then they have to post in the discussion. And then I'm going to add the next one. I'm going to go to my second thing here. It's a page, so it's just going to require them to view it. I'm going to click on my third component. It's a picture media album, so it's just going to be view. And as I go through my lesson, I can add requirements. And I can also click here that they must complete them in sequential order. Notice how, because this is an actual assignment, they have to complete it. And then I'm going to go down here. It's going to be can view because it's just a page. If I save changes, I have now self-paced this lesson for the students. And notice that now there is a check and it's grayed out and it says must post a comment or reply, must view item, must view item. And as I go down, I can check. And so what happens is that now if I go to this lesson, it says it makes it a must complete, and the students cannot go out of order. They can't skip around, and they actually cannot go to this next item. So they can't just push next until they have actually posted in the discussion below. So when I set up my lesson, if I use this student completion feature, I now pace my students in my online classroom because, I'm not there in person to say slow down, or did you finish that, or did you complete that? And so this is a great way, one, to set up your lessons with different components, which makes it more interactive. So they're going to be doing some discussions. They're going to be viewing some pages and some images. They're going to be doing an assignment, viewing some videos, some reading, but they're also they're going to be paced. So they can't just jump ahead. Again, we're going to cover this a little bit more this week. You also can go to the sign up that I pushed out into Schoology for you, which is the sign up sheet. And you can sign up for any of the times if you would like to cover this a little bit more. And again, you can find this in this example course. You all are admin on that course. Please feel free to use anything that you want. Just remember, if you're going to use something, to first go over here, save it to your resources, or copy it to your course first. Have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon.